Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to apologize, for like the way I look, because I'm doing this at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I haven't been getting much sleep because I just have a lot going on. 2023 has been a very interesting and challenging year for me. And just when I thought it was all over, another crisis happened. And the crisis was that my cat, who is also an emotional support animal, she's 18 years old, and she had an accident where she fell and she broke her left paw. Um, it's like three metacarpal bones from like left to right. They're all like very broken, like just like severed in half. And then they're all displaced, like so displaced that they cannot heal on their own. And the other thing that I've been dealing with is trying to keep her contained and basically proofing, more than baby proofing, because she is a very active, athletic cat. So she loves to jump on things and she's not used to being confined. So even though she has a broken paw and she's confined, and I've pretty much tried to proof she's staying in my smaller bathroom as much as possible, she still finds a way to jump on things and then jump down, and then she's like in pain because she just did that, even more pain. So it's just, I'm like, why can't you just be like a chill cat? Like if this was my other cat, she definitely wouldn't be doing all those things. So it's just been a constant struggle. And so anyways, like the reason why it happened, because she's not capable of doing something like this on her own, because like she is so athletic, this would never happen, is that a family member caused this to happen indirectly, non-intentionally. But so that's had like an interesting dynamic on kind of my emotional state also, because I cannot tell or say anything to this person because they're helping me out. So I'm in an odd position. So it's just been a process. And then I also didn't get the full story until like 3 weeks later. So it's been just a whirlwind of probably the worst case scenario of trying to fix a pet's broken body part or anything. And when I went to the vet the first time, they didn't think it was broken, regardless of everything that I said and me having a gut feeling that was broken. But like, I think x-rays were going to be like around 250 or more. So I was thinking, well, okay, if they don't think it's broken, then why pay that money? Because my funds are tight. So I didn't, and I went against my better judgment. And then like had all these concerns during the supposed 2 weeks until the follow-up visit, when if it didn't get better, they were going to do x-rays. And so I was just kind of, I don't want to say silenced, but just basically saying, oh, that's really normal for what we think it is, blah, blah, blah. So it didn't get better. Fast forward 2 weeks, and I get a different vet because I have to get whoever's available. And this place actually has been really good. They've taken care of my cats for the past 5 years, but this has been an emergency situation. So it's just, I had my eyes opened. So I actually ended up changing vets. It's not like their facility is bad. I just don't feel, based on the fact that my cats are senior cats and this crisis happened and they didn't handle it in the best way possible. At least these two, well, more or less one vet was the major issue, and the last one I saw. And so I just ended up switching vets because I was just like, I just can't, deal with that. And then that has a whole nother aspect because my cat would get really stressed out before going to that vet. So I would have to sedate her a lot. And when I took her to several other places, like an emergency vet and that other vet, the new vet that I have, she wasn't stressed out. And I think it's just because of the smells. Like, it's not like the other place was unsanitary. It's just they were more local, smaller, and they had a lot of different like scents in the place, and maybe all of those scents of like various animals, and they didn't have a dedicated cat space, caused her to be even more stressed out. I don't know. But at one point I took her there and they had a cat whisperer, but then she left. And then ever since then, my cat has been like extremely stressed out. Like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like, she's super sweet in my view and everyone who knows her, but whenever she would go to the vet, she would turn into like this devil cat. And it was just like, just like her animosity towards like being there. So it was just, now that she doesn't have to be as stated, it ended up being good all the way around. So back to my story. So I took her, for the follow-up visit, and I was expecting to spend $250, get the x-rays, figure out if it's broken or not, and then go forward. And the vet I got, basically, like, I shared all my concerns and I said, this is continuing to happen, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, she's putting weight on it. And I'm just like, but she's super sedated, because we upped her sedation because the other dosage wasn't working for her. And I'm like, she's not walking like this at my house. And so just take that into consideration. And then I just voiced all my concerns, and I really, really had a gut feeling it was broken. So he was just like, well, I don't think it's broken because she's allowing me to touch it, and it'll touch her paw, and she's walking on it, and she's not really putting up a huge fuss. And I'm like, well, she's heavily sedated. And I'm just like, whatever. But like, even she will allow me to touch her paw, because ever since she was a kitten, I really worked with my pet, they're not really my pets, they're my emotional support animals, but I really worked with them to be like okay with people touching like their paws, to like, so should anything happen, they would be easily able to inspect or look at them without them putting up too much of a fuss. So there's that aspect. And so I also explained, like, she's just not your average ordinary cat. She definitely doesn't act like a senior cat. Like, everybody that meets her, including all the vets that have seen her, thinks that she's much younger. Like, she's just in such great shape. She doesn't have any major medical issues until now. And so all the things. So that's kind of that aspect. And so he was set on his diagnosis being correct. And so I was like, you know what, let's just, the plan was to get x-rays. I just really have this gut feeling it's broken. And if we could just put my mind at ease, like get the x-rays, put my mind at ease, and go with your plan. And he just seemed very, like, I don't want to say put off, but just like he said things to me, and I'm just like, hello, like, I'm over 45, well over 45 years old, and I'm, not stupid. But he basically said, well, x-rays are not going to show this injury. And I'm just like, seriously? Like, why are you giving me pushback? This was the plan. This is in the notes. And he even said, like, sorry, I'm just like, this has just been a process that's very angering for me, because it's been such a cluster of hell with getting her diagnosed, and then just moving forward. It's just been one impediment over another. And I don't even know if that's the right word, but one obstacle after the other. And so anyways, so he was kind of not thinking, like, he just didn't think it was necessary. And he's like, well, I know it says it in the notes, but this injury is not going to show up on an x-ray. And so I'm just like, let's just get it done. Like I said, put my mind at ease, then we go with your plan. So they take her back, and then the vet tech comes back in. See, I'm going into more detail than I had planned. Vet tech comes back in, and she just starts clacking on the computer, and I'm thinking, well, why aren't they saying anything? And so I asked, I'm like, hey, so what did you do the x-rays? Did it have a result? And she was like, yes, but she didn't say anything. And then she was like, the vet will be in to talk to you about it. So I thought that was weird. So I'm like, why can't you just tell me? So I asked her again, like, well, was it broken? And she was just kind of like, I don't know. I can't even describe how she felt, but she was just like, yeah, it's broken. And I was like, oh, well, good thing I asked for the x-rays. And she said, oh, not only is it broken, it's like really broken. And then she described what I shared with you, the 3 metatarsal bones, all split, all shifted, like a major break. And so she's like, but the vet will be in to talk to you about it. So at this point, I'm like, I wish I asked for x-rays at the first visit. Like, why didn't I follow my gut? I was starting to feel like a bad, like, mom, you know, because these cats are my pets. No, they're not my pets. They're my kids. And they're not pets. They're emotional support animals. So there was that. And so the vet ends up coming in and he just stands there like he's in complete shock and disbelief that my cat has that degree of a broken paw. And he just kind of like stands there like this, like he literally cannot come to terms with the fact that it's broken. And I'm like, oh, so it's broken. Really great that I asked for the x-rays, you know? And he was just like, I don't understand. Like, she shouldn't be putting weight on it at all. Because any cat who has, like, he just made like these blanket statements, and there's not like a one size fits all for all animals. Just like there's not a one size fits all like set of things that will happen when a human has issues. So, or medical problems. So he kept putting her in this like all category of all cats. And it was just so frustrating. And then he started saying old a lot. So I'm just like, yeah. So I was just like trying to keep my cool and get out of there as quickly as possible. But he basically also said he didn't feel comfortable splinting it, like all these things. So I just had a lot of red flags associated with that and decided after that point I was not going to take my cats back there. So anyways, so there's that. And then later I had to go to an urgent vet, and there's just all this process. And I've been needing to, like, I don't have the money to pay for a $4,000 to $6,000 orthopedic surgery, which will give her the best chance of being back to normal. And possibly I wouldn't consider that for my other cat because she's just not that super active and agile and like acrobatic. But because this cat is like that and she's 18 years old, while like I guess they could amputate the leg, I think that would make her really depressed. Like, it's not that I don't think she would be able to acclimate to it. It's just, I think she would get very depressed on all the things she wouldn't be able to do again. Like, you know, because she's just such an extreme, I can't even describe everything since this video would be too long. But, well, just for an example, like when I was living in DC and I was living in a group house, we were like watching TV, and there was a squirrel in the living room, like outside, sitting in the tree, you know, chewing on a nut like this and kind of looking at my cat like, haha, you can't get me. And so I see my cat, because she's just a real hunter. And so she starts stalking up and like really has her eyes focused on this squirrel outside the window. And then she lunges. I didn't know she could do this at the time. She lunges for the window. And then, you know how like older windows, not the newer ones, have the wooden panes that are like this and like this on the inside and outside. She latched onto there with her front and rear paws, and she was basically like flat up against the window, kind of like Spider-Man does to a side of a building, literally the exact same thing. And she just stayed there for at least 5 minutes. Meanwhile, on the outside, like, I'm so glad I got to see this because it was hysterical. The squirrel on the outside had basically, his reaction was like, drop the nut and then just freeze. Because he was like, I know he was thinking like, can that cat come through the window? So he was just totally like scared out of his mind, it was just comical. But so just that level of a degree. And that was a low level. Like, she can jump as high as, like, if you have the front door of a house, she can jump to the height of that. Like, when I had adopted her, she already had a degree of jumping. And so I just cultivated that and tried to see, like, let's see how high she can jump over the course of time. And she's like Air Jordan in like cat format. So basically, because of that, I just don't think like amputation is really a good option for her, because I don't think she would take to it really well. And there's not a lot of science that understands, like, there's some people that say, well, cats or certain animals don't get depressed like humans do. But then there are some people that also say that they kind of do. So it's just, there's no formal science on it, or at least that I could find in all the research that I had to do for all these different things. Yeah, so there's that. And so it's just been a process. And so I had to look for grant funding, and then I only work part-time. So I was just like, well, I can't get a loan because I can't afford payments. So then I negotiated with my, and I'm also a temp, and my employer, and said, hey, is there any way that I could just pick up like 15 extra hours just temporarily, because this is the situation, and otherwise if I don't do it with you, I'm going to have to look elsewhere, and I would prefer not to do that. Plus that would just be a nightmare, like transportation, organizing, like the whole thing. And I really like my job. Well, fortunately she came back and said she could give me 10 hours instead of 15. So that helps, and so I can make a loan payment. So there's all those things. And so it's just been a process. It's so complicated. So basically I had to postpone doing the surgery because I just literally didn't have the cash to do it. And I couldn't take out a loan initially because I didn't want to take out a loan if I couldn't pay for the loan, because I have really good credit now. So let me just show you a picture of my cute little cat. So, she is, sorry, this is my cell phone. So this is my cute little cat who's 18 years old. She doesn't look it. She's in a harness because I have to keep her strapped up because, and like tie her up places, because she's such an active cat that if I don't do that, she would do things that she shouldn't do. And so while I do have her contained in my bathroom, and she is occasionally getting up on things and doing things that she shouldn't be doing with a broken paw, she ends up re-injuring herself each time. So not only could the bones not heal on their own, it's been some time and they haven't been able to even have some degree of recalcification, which is just normal for the regrowth of the attempt of bones to try to merge together. But hers are just so insanely displaced. It's so heartbreaking. It's just shocking. I'm like, so yeah, let's not even go there. Oh, I know, boo-boo. Oh, hold on. Oops. I know her really well, and I know her cries to like know when I need to let her go so she can go to the bathroom. So, that's kind of, she's been like contained for a while. So I'm just like, okay, maybe she's not going to the restroom, but she will eventually. She's just exploring and getting into things. So gosh, like I said, she's very active. So that's kind of been what's going on. And so I've been like researching. So I had to research for a new vet to just do other stuff, and to continue to get medications for her and all these things. She's on a slight dose of, and that's another thing, their original dosing of pain medication, and then at the second vet visit, the guy just basically saying she must be in excruciating pain. Yeah, let's just not go there. So, and so there's been a lot of complexities, and so I've been trying to get her scheduled with an orthopedic surgeon. And of course I had to research what hospitals I would trust taking my 18-year-old cat to get a really good surgery, like a successful surgery, and just do all the research on that. And so just a lot of stuff. So there's been a lot of research for hospitals, for orthopedic surgeons, for getting funding. Like, I've just been so busy, and I've been completely on my own because this family member has not offered or stepped up in any level. Well, they have stepped up to a certain point now. Like, they've offered to give some degree of partial funding for her surgery or medical expenses, but for a long time, it was just radio silence. And then even after that, I haven't gotten any assistance with researching or doing anything to get her care. So it's just been a lot on my shoulders. Like, A, I'm working a lot more hours, and then B, I'm doing all this on the side, and C, I'm still trying to do whatever small personal things I can do for my life. And I've actually had to stop studying for the track that I was working on getting into to switch careers because I literally had no more time. So I've been like I would say 75% work because I'm doing more hours, and then the remaining probably 20% of the time, actually, like, because I don't sleep much. Like, it's now 4 a.m. like, or later. Yeah, 4:22. So wow, this has been 20 minutes long. I didn't expect for this. So it's just, so I've had a lot going on, and that's the reason I haven't posted anything. Did I even film my winter box? I can't recall. I don't remember. No, don't jump. Don't jump. See, now she wants to jump on the bed. She's going to do it, and I can't stop her. Hold on. Okay. So here she is, my cute little kitty cat. She's so sweet. I love her so much. And I really wish I could fix her paw. And I don't know if you can tell. It's going to be hard to tell, but this is the broken paw. But it's like really kind of, you can't really tell, but it's really deformed compared to this one. Of course, now she's spreading out her paw parts. But, and it's swollen and all the things. So hold on, let me just get her repositioned. There you go. Sorry. I'll be with you in a second. So, and that's another thing. I haven't been able to, like, the times that I do sleep, I can't sleep all the way through the night because I have to be attentive to her needing to go to the restroom or to get water, or then she just gets tired of being tied up. So I'll untie her and I'll keep her close to me to keep her from continuing to re-injure herself. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. So I really apologize. Like, I had every intent on catching up and posting videos, and even like this Christmas time, because now, like, or this holiday times, Christmas for me, I know a lot of people don't celebrate Christmas, but so prior to the holidays, I had been contacting all these places trying to get some scheduling for, okay, she's getting fed up. So trying to get some scheduling for her orthopedic consults. And so I have one scheduled, but a lot of it's been phone tag because I work and there are numbers. I have a spam filter and there's numbers coming from these numbers that I can't put in my phone. So they get screened and I don't find out that they called until sometimes, anyways. So it's been a process. And so there's been a lot of phone tag and whatnot. So I do have one definitive sometime in January, I think mid-January, orthopedic surgeon appointment for a consult to see if even like maybe getting the full-on reconstructive surgery with like with plates and screws or pins may not be the best option for her right now, and there are reasons for that. And my original vet should have told me these things. And so for example, when I went to the urgent vet, she was just like, your vet should have just gotten x-rays at the get-go. And a lot of them said a lot of cats don't display that they're in a lot of pain, because she's also a very stoic cat. Like, anyways, so but I can tell, like, I'm aware of like every single aspect of her and her personality and how she walks and all these things that I could literally tell a difference. Whereas some people just wouldn't see those like minute things. But you would think a vet would. But anyways, so the urgent vet that I took her to at the suggestion of one of the animal hospitals was to get her splinted up, which, okay, this could be a really long video, so I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty details, but I took her to an urgent vet in the interim because the woman said you're not going to be able to get scheduled until the new year because our schedules are just so full. That she basically said that it's possible that the full surgery that you were hoping to get done and wanting to get done may no longer be an option, and most likely wouldn't have been an option after 2 weeks of her not getting, surgery. And she was like, I don't know why your vet wouldn't take the x-rays initially, or wouldn't really emphasize taking the x-rays at the first visit, but basically just all those things. And so that's been also a hard pill to swallow because I really want that for her. And I know that a lot of people have animals that are tripods, and I have nothing against that. And I wouldn't mind having a tripod cat. It's just, I really don't think she would enjoy that. So, not enjoy it, but because she's 18 years old. She's been doing her complete active life for 18 years. Well, for the most part of 18 years. And so I just don't think that would be a happy place for her. Would I put her down? No. Yeah. So that's just been something hard to deal with. And so I want to still get the surgical consult to see, A, is that still an option? And if it is, that's what we're going to do. And B, if it's not, what are the next options? It's just, I really think it's sad that one would have to remove this whole beautiful active arm or leg just for a broken paw. To me, that just doesn't add up. But anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. And so I've been having a tough time emotionally too, but I have therapy for that, and I have therapy support for that. And I'm by no means so that's kind of that situation. And so that's what I've been going through. That's what's going on. And I should know sometime in the new year, with at least one orthopedic consult, what the options are. And so that sort of thing. And senior cats can easily have surgery. And the other thing, she has allergies and stuff, so sometimes she's congested. So we have to take care of that before she would get surgery, because sometimes if your nasal passages are congested when you're under sedation, that can complicate things. And also because she's an older cat. But I think she would just I think honestly she would do fine under anesthesia, because my other one had dental reabsorption issues. Totally not my fault, but it was just a genetic thing, and she had to get her a intense teeth cleaning, even though I cleaned her teeth. And she also had to get what do they call it? Not a retraction, where they removed one of her lower canine teeth. So it's really cute when she smiles, or when she opens her mouth, or she has trouble fully eating things the way she used to because she's missing that little tooth. It's so adorable. But so she did well under surgery because they had to put her under for that. So I really think she's a real trooper. So I think she would survive a surgery at 18 years old. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I really didn't mean this to be a very long video. I'm not going to edit it because I'm sorry, I don't have the time. And I hope I'm not going to have a chance to edit it on my editor, on my computer, because, yeah, so I'm just going to post it. So if the voice volume is low, that's why. Typically I, amend my videos on my, I'm so tired these days, loss of words, on my video editor to enhance the sound once I learned how to do that. And so I won't have the opportunity to do that right now. So I apologize for that. And I really super appreciate, you just don't know, because I really set up this channel because I really wanted to share things with you all. And, so hold on. And I really wanted to share things with you all and just be really active, and I really enjoy being on YouTube and sharing things with you and posting videos. But it's just been a year, and I'm really hoping 2024 is different. Like I honestly, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that it will be a different year and I'll be able to start posting things again. But so I just wanted to get this posted, and thank you so much for all of you who have stuck around while I've been going through, all this stuff this year. And I really appreciate it. And for those of you that have left, like, I totally understand, but I really appreciate all of you that have stayed subscribed and been wanting to see more content from me. So thank you so much for that. And that's it. Sorry this was so long. Bye.